All right, so this was about the Android checkbox, the inbuilt checkboxes we were talking about. And now the question is if you have to go through the custom Android checkboxes. So next or today's another tutorial is about, wait a sec, let the zone have its end. Okay, are you here, Carlos?
Yep.
All right, so another tutorial is how we can now design, like sometimes right now what the checkboxes that we have added, they have to have, or they used to have their own style. Now if you want to have your custom checkbox with a design checkbox, or you want to just change the design of the checkboxes, so Android provides basically facility to customize, or Android provides the features to customize the graphical user interface of view elements rather than result. This guy is, see, there are spaces in between. How stupid he is. There are spaces in between. All right. So Android provides the features to customize the UI of view elements rather than the result. So we can, oh my gosh. Create, or we are able to create custom check box in Android. So you can add some different, types of images of checkbox on the layout, and then we can use them to create an Android application with checkboxes. All right. So example of that is simply, we'll go through the example. We will create both default and custom checkbox. So we have to again modify the same type of things. So we'll go ahead now. What's the problem with this guy? Okay, so create new project, empty activity, Android custom checkbox. So Android custom checkbox and create it, finish it. So that's the main activity. First of all, we'll go through the main activity file. So we'll add some text here, and it's text view already here. I'm going to use the same, but I will add the input first. The first attribute, which I've told you always, is ID. So Android ID. What happened here? Android. Add the rate. Text view first. AND ROID Android first, then wrap. Layout width will be now changing. We'll say fill parent. We cannot use fill parent. Fill parent. Then height will be wrap content, and then we can say Android gravity. So Android gravity, another particular attribute, and it's center horizontal. Then after that, Android text size, and it's going to be 25 dp. Android text, default check box. After that, ANDROID, Android layout, align parent top is equal to true. Then Android layout align parent left equals to true. Oh, here it's not an attribute, it's a semicolon. So Android layout parent start, sorry, align, ALIGN, align parent start is also true. You don't need these things. So Android text view, ID text view, and one more thing, it's relative layout right now. So we'll just change it to relative, sorry. Relative layout. What happened? Why it didn't change here? Just a sec, let me go through it. I'm gonna delete it here. Relative layout, yep. So relative layout we are going to go through, and the rest of the things will be same. Tools, match parent, main activity. All right, so then after this we are going to add our checkboxes. And width is wrap content. Yep, height is wrap content. And more important thing is your Android ID equals to @ID. So sorry, ID. So that's first of all checkbox. Wrap content is done. Then Android text and your ID. Android text is new checkbox, and after that Android layout below as a property that we can use, and we can say Android @ID text view first. Yeah, text view first. Have we added yet? Text view first is here. Simple. And then Android another property, which is layout central. Horizontal is equal to true. And then Android layout margin top. Oh. Margin top is 46 dp. That's it. So that was the first box again. I am gonna copy it now and paste it again. Now we have checkbox 2 here. Wrap content is the ID. Text is new checkbox. Okay. ID will be layout below will be checkbox first now. So checkbox. This I'm gonna name it as checkbox first. Checkbox first. .46 dp checkbox first. ID is checkbox. Text is this plus ID is checkbox 2. No, that's checkbox first. Checkbox first. Text view here in the text box 2. That's new checkbox, checkbox 2. Wrap content. Layout below is checkbox first. And then we'll say another property, Android layout, align, left, layout, align, left, @ID. That's also checkbox first, or you can say simply the checkbox. And then Android layout, align, start. Again, the same thing, ID and checkbox first. That's it. So we do not need this property here. So checkbox ID is done, width, layout, new box is the Android checkbox layout. Android ID is here. So Android layout below checkbox first, Android layout align left and start class. And then at last now view for that. So view is layout width, which is fill, parent, height is 1 dp, and then Android layout margin top, that's going to be 200 dp, and then after that Android, if you need to change the background of the Android this, so hashtag will say BBB B8B suppose 894, and then Android ID equals to plus @ ID, so it's going to be view stub view, which we are going to have. And then the custom, checkboxes. So these were all the default checkboxes, and there was a view, and now we are going to add the custom checkboxes using the checkbox button. All right, so that's wrap the content. And here also, we're going to wrap the content. And then Android text, all right, is equal to, so we can say checkbox 2, Android ID equals to @ID checkbox do not have checkboxes. We have only 2 checkboxes, just a sec. For example, for now checkbox 3, then Android button @ we need to have our own checkbox. Suppose we check boxes we will talk about.
You need, if this is, sorry,
An image.
it has to be a drawable. So you have to take it from the drawable directory. And then you need to have a PNG file, kind of like how we had the custom toast. It works similar.
The same thing there, I'm sure, but it should be in MipMap or in drawables. Or it should be in drawable. We have something different here. Now it's a different directory. It's not like the previous one. In drawable, we have only those things. In MipMap, we have all the images here. So you need to add a ping image. For example, I'm going to download checkboxes. The blank one. Wait a sec, like suppose this one we want. So I'm gonna sniff it. Okay, I'm gonna save it, file save as ping. So I'm gonna name it as checkbox. And if I have to save it, I will directly save it like I told you in my previous class. In users, administrator, Android projects. What's our project name? Custom Android checkbox, application, source, main, res, and MipMap is here. I'm gonna save it here. Got it?
Yeah.
So that's the thing which I have told you in my previous class. Wait a sec, I will just close this one. Disconnect. So now when you just refresh it, you have mipmap checkbox.ping here. So what you have to do is you do not have to add drawable. We have to add mipmap. And here is the first thing, which is checkbox already came in. All right. And the next part is Android layout low equals to @ID checkbox third. What happened? Android layout below plus @. What's the problem? Checkbox. No. If it is checkbox 4 here. Third here. Wait. No, it cannot be used here. Mipmap drawable checkbox. So Android layout below will be @stub view stub, which we have just created. This one view, which is connected to that view stub, and then Android layout center horizontal is true. and then layout margin top. So Android layout margin top is 58 dp. That's it. That's the first checkbox that we have added after the view. So it has to give this ID view step. And then checkbox, another checkbox is here. Wrap content checkbox 2. And here it's not checkbox 2, it's checkbox 1. Wait a sec. Checkbox 1, checkbox 2. Now the ID over here is checkbox 4, and it will be checkbox 4, then ID checkbox 4, then button will be drawable checkbox, and then below will be now the above one, which we have used as checkbox third. Yep. And then Android, another property which is Android layout align left. Left is add the right ID, again checkbox third, the above checkbox that we have added. And after that, Android layout align start. That's also the same, which is checkbox third. And we do not need these two properties. So Android layout width is wrap content. Then again, the height will be wrap content. Text will be checkbox 2 now, plus ID will be checkbox 4 because 3 is already here. Then here, the image will be same like we have saved here, which is checkbox. And then ID will be of checkbox 3, this one. Layout below will be checkbox 3. So it's just whenever you talk about the layout below left and start, so it will be the checkbox which is just above it, which you are going to connect it with. So that's about this thing. And now after this thing, what we are going to do, we are going to add a text view. Wrap content is here, so we can go wrap content over here also. And then Android text appearance Android text appearance, so it's question mark Android. There's an attribute, so attr text appearance small. Is it text appearance item small, or just text appearance small? Text appearance small, this one, that's it. And then Android text size is gonna be 25 dp. Then Android text is gonna be custom checkbox, and then Android ID, which you can use anywhere. I mean, you can define it anywhere, it's not necessary. So @ID, so I can see it's a text view of it. And then Android layout align top, layout align top, which is guys, align ID view stub, sorry, and then after that Android layout center horizontal, that's gonna be true. That's it, and class. And at last we will add a button, wrap content, Android text is equal to show checked, then Android ID equals to @BUTTON button, then Android layout align parent bottom, which is true, and then Android layout center horizontal, which is true. So that's all about our activity main file. First of all, we added a text view, default checkboxes. These are checkboxes. Then we added a view. ID of the view is view stub box or view stub. Checkboxes, it should be aligned according to view, then checkboxes, then text view, and the button at last. So this is the information. We're going to save it, and then we'll move to the Java file, main Java activity file. And what we have to do is now we will just now implement a selector in another file, which is checkbox.xml. So we have to add one more particular file under the layout, which is right click over here and new XML layout XML file. And I'm going to name it as selector. Wait a sec. Actions. So new XML layout XML. Right now it's linear layout, so it'll change it later on. So it'll say checkbox.xml. So that's checkbox XML to be already there. So you can say selector for this, we need to implement one selector in another file. So here it's XML 1.0, so just use selector. Android, this Sigma Android, layout with parent may match, whatever it is. So what we are going to do, we're going to use item, Android, state, checked, equals to true, and then Android. Oh my gosh, we need to have all these things, man. Android. It's MIP map, MIP. And after that, so maybe we have to add some, images, ping images in here for checked and unchecked. So we need to download that. But before we go ahead, we'll just go and create or just modify the activity main class file by just defining some, variables because it's a checkbox. So checkbox, sorry, very first I'm going to do it checkbox with the help of checkbox class. So checkbox CB first and checkbox class 2, variable 2, then button. So it's button ID button, so say button class, and then set content view main. So we can directly define them here also without going out from the context or from the method on create. So what we can do is simply CB first is equal to, so checkbox, oh shit, man. Checkbox find view by ID. So or dot. Now we can say layout dot activity main. No, sorry, layout dot Oh, sorry. Or dot set content or dot layout dot activity main is done already. So or dot id dot checkbox third, which is the third one. Then cb2 equals to, it's a very checkbox find view by id r dot id dot checkbox 4. All right, semicolon here, semicolon here. Then after that, button variable, the same thing we have to do again here. So in the button, we will have find view by id r r.id dot, you can say, was the name button or button. Let me check, it's button, yeah. So button, we are done with 3 different variables, instances have been created. Next thing is to create the onClick method. So button dot onClick listener, oh sorry, set onClick listener, okay. New view dot onClick listener. That's it, and we're going to have it like this. And we're going to override the method onClick. So public void onClick view. We can even use the variable v here instead of view. And then use string builder clause to define. So sb is equal to new string builder. All right. And in here, no, my gosh. I'm gonna type it this. So if now cb2 dot is checked, then what will happen? String s2 is gonna be cb2 dot get text get text dot to string. That's it. And sb dot append will be s1. Append will be s1. Where is this s1? We have not defined any s1 here. After that, if cb2 dot is checked string, oh, so that's s1 here. string scb2 string s2 equals to cb2 dot get text dot to string semicolon, then we can say sb dot append is going to be new line plus s2 colors. Then after that, if sb is not equal to null and sb dot to string equals to this, so then we can say toast dot make text get application context comma sb comma ust dot length long dot show. That's it. Else we'll say toast dot make text get application context comma nothing selected comma toast dot length long dot show. That's it. So this is the information, but here it's giving us the error. What happened in this? Button dot set on click listener new view dot on click listener. What's the issue? Click anonymous must either be declared abstract or on click view. Do one thing. Control X. Wait. Let me go through the previous. Yep, so I just created separate instance or separate method and then just I called it here. Rest of the things the same. What you have to do is the same thing. And we'll check it out. We have added a new file checkbox here and then I will just run it and we'll see the output of this particular file. There's an error found. That's resource map checked, not found. So what we have to do, like suppose that I just want to add the same thing which is here, checkbox on both the things, because it needs the unchecked and checked checkboxes. So I will just add checkboxes on both the particular, you can see here, both the checkboxes will come here. Now, instead of this, you have to download the images of checked and unchecked checkboxes and just add them here. That's it, and it will work at that time. But we have only one image, which is checkbox, so I'm going to just use this as a demonstration. All right. So we'll save it and just run it again. I know now there's another. Oh, here is state. So there can be some sort of spelling mistakes. Run it again. So, yep, it's finished. You can see here. These are normal checkboxes and these are custom checkboxes which I'm using. So what you have to do, so here it should be checked and unchecked text. So you can say checked, nothing selected. So we have not selected anything so far. But we need to add here checked checkboxes and unchecked checkboxes, and then only you will have the possible output. It's a possible output, only we need to have different types of checkboxes. I added just the same one because only one is available for me. Only one image is available for me. So basically you need to have images for both, for checked checkbox and unchecked. Okay, clear?
Yep.
So this is about the checkboxes and how you can add some custom checkboxes and how you can add the default checkboxes. All right, so I guess this is enough for today. All right, in the next class on Monday, we will go through, let me check. We have a lot to go through. Yeah, so we'll go through the radio buttons and then how can we add dynamic radio buttons, custom radio buttons, and then alert box, and then a lot of other things. We list view or whatever the things we have in the Android development. We'll go through them. So in the next class, so we're gonna learn about radio button. Okay, all is clear for today. Any questions?
Nope.
All right, so just hold on a sec. Let me take one particular attendance. I guess I have already taken, and I have to paste it here. Code 7. Yep. All right, then I will see you on Monday, inshallah, at the same time at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then bye-bye. See you. Take care.
Take care, sir.